Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Figure This Life Out Together. I'm so excited to be here today, and today is a very special day because I have a very special guest that I have been wanting to have on this YouTube channel. She's going to introduce herself. Before I let her, she's someone that I have been looking forward to having here because I am fascinated by her mind. She is someone I think if my brain stopped working, I could rely on her to survive this life.
Oh, wow.
Because I trust her decision making process and a lot of other things. I'm gonna give you a chance to introduce yourself, whatever you want these people to know.
We're just everyday people trying to make a difference. We want to know we got it right. We gotta know our purpose, gotta know it's worth it. We want to live a good life. We're just everyday.
Hi everyone, my name is Pretty Kansime and I am super excited to be here. Like she said, we have been wanting to do this for quite some time, but for several reasons we have tried and failed, and I'm so happy that today we get to finally do this. So one of the hardest things there is to do is to introduce yourself. So yeah, my name is Pretty Kansime. I am Claire's sister.
As you can tell.
Yeah, as you can tell. Or twin sister, like most say.
Yeah.
I think you'll be the judge. I'm just excited to be here. I don't know what else to say about myself. Maybe we'll get to that along the way.
Yeah. So Pretty, when I reached out to you to let you know that I wanted you to be here, I asked you what are some of the topics that you wanted to talk about. So you gave me a list of them, quite interesting topics. And I'm very excited to talk about all of them. But today we picked one to talk about. And yeah, I'm going to give you a chance to let us know which one we're talking about today.
Okay, so after a thorough process of trying to figure out what we're going to talk about, after going through the different topics that we brainstormed about, we decided to talk about building and sustaining adult friendships.
See, I've been meaning to talk about friendships on my channel, but the way that topic scares me, it's one of those areas in my life that I'm struggling with so much. So sometimes I look at myself, I'm like, are you qualified to talk about this? But then our channel is to figure life out together.
Right.
So we might as well talk about even the things that we're not very confident about.
Sure.
I'm going to start by asking you what friendship means to you.
Well, trust me, I think you're not the only one who is struggling in this area. It's ironic that I suggested the topic, given the fact that I'm still growing. I can't say I'm struggling now. I'll say I'm growing. It's a process of growth. I would love to be optimistic that way about it. Yeah, I have struggled severely in the past, and I'd say that I am growing. It's one of those things that I'm currently working on.
Okay.
In my life, it's very relatable in this particular season of my life, if I may say. Yeah, and I found it, quite interesting. I actually wanted to hear your point of view about this. I don't think we have had this conversation, and I wanted to hear your point of view about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what is friendship to me? I don't think I have one definition of it. I would say I have a way I see it that has been shaped over the years, that has been shaped over different seasons of my life. And if I'm to define it by where I am today, I'd say friendship is a gift of companionship, a gift we choose to have, we choose to keep, we choose to grow.
Yeah.
Now, it is ironic that the word gift and then choose, are in the same sentence.
I was about to make a comment on
yeah,
that.
it's very ironic, but that's the way it is. It is a gift in itself, but then you choose this gift, and then you choose to keep it,
Yeah.
and then you choose to grow it. I'd say you choose to keep it because some friendships are, they're spontaneous. They just happen, they just happen. But one thing I have come to learn along the way after very many mistakes is that the fact that it happens spontaneously doesn't mean that it's going to be maintained that way. Yeah. So you have to work to keep it. It's quite interesting how the word friendship has been watered down. But like I said, if there is something I have come to learn requires a lot of intentionality, a lot of work, not in a way of toiling, but putting in the work and intentionally putting in the work and choosing to do that every single day. Yeah.
It's a very important thing to point out that friendship is a gift, because it truly is. These are people who come in our lives that usually we're not related to.
Yeah.
These are people that choose to show up for us, that choose to love us, that choose to stay. And when you think about it, I think that's the true meaning of what a gift is. And it's very important to also point out that, friendships can start in so many ways. For me, most of them have started at a very spontaneous moment, because I'm one of those people that instantly connects with someone, and I know, like, this person can be my friend. Like, me and this person, we can do life together on the first encounter.
Yeah.
And you can miss out on what that friendship can be, on how beautiful that friendship can grow into, what it could become if you don't put in the work, like you have said.
Absolutely.
I think for me, friendship is a relationship with people who see me, who hear me, who understand me, who I connect with. For me, connection is a big thing. What is working for me is connecting with someone and then working on growing that friendship. People you meet and you just click, and it's just that simple. Usually, I don't even know what their belief system is. Like, I usually just don't know. My gut instinct just tells me this person can be your person. And then for me, that also comes with loyalty, which is a very big thing. Like, you can just trust this person with your life, let's say, and you know that they have your best interests at heart. Because I think as a person, I over trust people, and it's so easy to put myself in a very dangerous place because of how of an open book I am around the people that I
Let in.
let in. So I have to be very careful. Yeah, friends, they're my people.
That's a beautiful way of seeing it and looking at it. You mentioned a very important aspect about this thing called friendship, and you mentioned trust. And you said for you, it is those people that you trust have your best interests at heart. You trust that they see you and are there for you. And personally, that's one of the areas I'm still struggling with, be it from my end or even believing that it's from the other end as well.
Okay.
Because I believe that people can be flawed, things could go wrong. People could wake up one day and change, and not necessarily because they're bad people, but because that's, it's life happening.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to find the balance between thinking all those things about a person
Yeah.
and then knowing that at any point, anything could happen and things could change. I think I'm still trying to find the balance between knowing that I am loved by these people, knowing that I am seen and cared for, But then for me, they sound like expectations. I don't know if I was sitting down thinking, this person has my best interests at heart. They will stand by me at all times. They will have my back. I so much want to believe those things, but I feel like I'm putting so much pressure on that person. I feel like I'm putting so much on them. I just want them to be, I just want them to be who they are. And should a point in time come where they feel like, now, they're okay to go. Now, I think one positive thing that has come out of that is it has taught me to cherish the relationships that I have with people. And when they come to an end, or if people change, people grow in different directions, if a point in time comes where whatever was comes to an end, it doesn't leave me bitter, it leaves me grateful.
Or living, is that in a sense of people outgrowing each other? Because these things happen. This is reality. These are things that we face. The friends that we have had for a long time, childhood friendships, and you see this person now and they're almost like a stranger to you. But there was a moment in time where these people were
at the center of your life, literally.
And sometimes it's very painful to see that. And I think that one of the things that you mentioned that is very profound was to look back at these friendships with gratitude, appreciating the moments, the times, the experiences you had together in that season, in that moment, in those moments, in those years, and holding more onto those memories. I've heard so much about love having the capacity to free people. And that's the most beautiful thing. Like, it's hard to comprehend, but it's also very beautiful if you can get to that place where you look at your friend and you're like, yeah, in this moment of your life, one of our lives, we did this life together, we celebrated friendship, we celebrated each other, we showed up for each other, we were in each other's lives on a day-to-day basis. And now maybe your friend has grown into a certain space where they're now flourishing even more. Like, for you to look at this person and just being happy for them, just seeing how happy they are, how happier they are, and not making it about yourself, but rather the love that you have this person. Because I don't think the love goes away. We might think it goes away, but it might grow into certain negative thought, negative feelings if we don't be intentional about it. You might just become resentful to this person, but in real truth, it's the love that is putting. You cannot resent someone you never felt deeply for. It's really hard.
You can't.
It's really, really hard. There must have been a certain deep feeling that puts you in a place that makes you feel hurt. It's so easy for a random person to do anything or say anything, and you brush it off. But usually when these things are said by the people we most care about, they hurt deeply. And that's because we love them.
We love and care for them.
So it's very important to identify those feelings and understand where they're coming from. It's coming from a place of love. That's a very mature place to be. Like, there was a moment, there was a time in life when we did life together, and we don't do it anymore. But I see you're happy, and I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to witness that, even at a distance. I think moving forward, let's talk about adulthood friendships. Friendships in our childhood were different because these are friendships that we had, some of them in school, where you go to the same class with this person every single day. You see each other every single day. You have breakfast together, you have lunch together. You sleep in the same dormitory for those who went to boarding school. You're in the same neighborhood. You go to the same church. Things like we were just in an environment that favored us to be in these people's lives every day. like see each other every day.
It was so easy.
It was so easy.
So easy.
Like it was so easy. And
Yeah.
when you grow and become an adult,
Yeah.
you realize, okay, now I'm 1,000 miles away from my friend.
Yeah.
They have a schedule. I have a schedule that it's different. Now we're doing life differently.
Yeah.
They have a whole job. You have a whole job. You don't go to the same workplace for you to understand that, okay, in this time we can meet, and that time we can meet. And now you just also that now that's on one part. There's also a realization of the more you grow, the more responsibilities come, and the less time you have for yourself.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but me, when I don't have time for myself, it will show up. When maybe I come home or I'm done with work, I will find myself in a space where I just want to go and curl in my bed and not answer anybody's call and not interact with anyone. You look at that, sometimes you don't even have control over it, but you also have people in your life who you love very deeply, who you want to keep in your life, and now the balance is crazy. Like you don't know how to do work, cook, have time for yourself, have time for family, have time for relationships. You're like, I'm just one person.
I know.
When I watch people who are having friendships that are flourishing, I'm like, I would love to hear about how you guys are dealing with this, because I am failing very terribly. It's hard and it takes so much work. I know friendship should not feel like it takes work, but my friend, you find your mind wandering, you're thinking about 1,000 things, and you're like, okay, my mind, now I'm going to command you to calm down for a minute, and then you make time for this person. It's one thing to build a friendship, and it's another one to sustain it. Let's talk about sustaining friendships. Adult friendships.
Meaningful adult friendships.
Yes, meaningful, intentional. What are some of the things that you are doing?
Am I?
I would say you are.
Am I?
I would say you are. What are some of the things you are doing, or you have learned, or you're trying to implement? Like you said, it's something that you're working on, the growth. What is it looking like for you?
Yeah. Wow. It is in this very moment that I realize that indeed I am not qualified to be talking about this. I'm not qualified to be giving, nuggets of wisdom on this.
You're sharing your experience, right? I let go of the pressure of this 10 ways of how to to build a successful friendship, and just share raw experiences for you, how it's really going for you, and how you're making those small wins to move towards the kind of friend that you want to be. Yeah.
Honestly, friendship has been a major area of struggle, throughout my adulting. But in this, particular space and point in time, I would say I love the progress that I've made. I love the growth that has come with it. The small wins, small wins that have come with putting in the work. I think I'll maybe first go back a bit on what it took me to come from struggling to progressing. I think I had to first sit down with myself and, have some real talk. I had to tell myself, you are doing a terrible job at this, and because you are missing out on the beauty of, friendships. You are wasting, some good friendships because you're not putting in the work. I think one of the main areas that I had to work on was putting in the work. Was putting in the work, because I think we're sort of similar. I don't know. Okay, I don't know if it's still the same for you, But I had always not been the one to take the first step and go talk to people, honestly speaking. Yeah. I have some friends who always, make fun of it now. And they, every now and then they're like, if I'd never literally made the step to come talk to you, we would not be friends right now. I'm like, yep.
Exactly what my friends say. Yo, thank you for adopting us.
I love, I love those people genuinely. Eternally grateful. Yeah, I'm eternally grateful for the people that, took that. And even after they made the first step, hi, the work they had to put in for me to at least, respond to that. It was, but I think it was, rooted in a lot of things. It was rooted in the struggle with trusting people, the fear of this not lasting. So someone would approach me and I'd see, like you said, I would, I'd tell, I'd be like, this is gonna work out pretty well. If it happens, it's gonna work out pretty well. And then my mind would race to the end. I'm like, oh, how is this going to end? Oh, when it ends, oh, how soon is it going to end? Oh, what's going to happen to me when it ends? That is what will be going through my mind. And during that process of this person putting in the work and me literally just sitting there, trust me, I'd not be relaxing. I'd not be relaxing. My mind would be going through all that. And it would take me a while to make up my mind to take the risk. I call it a risk, to take this risk of experiencing this. So one, I had to sit down with myself and, tell myself the truth that I was really doing terrible at this. And I really had to work on this if I wanted to have any meaningful friendships in my life. The second thing that I think I had to do was to go for it even when I'm afraid. Because I don't think I started now, working on it after the fear, all those fears that I mentioned had left. I allowed myself to walk in it, afraid and be like, okay, it's okay. If this doesn't last for a very long time, it's okay. I will embrace what it has to bring. I will cherish what is there. I will it will be this is forever going to impart, it's gonna forever be part of my life in a certain way. So that's a win. I'm like, if this is an amazing person and the experience that I'm going to have with them is something I'm going to carry with me for, it's okay even if they're not, that they're no longer around, it's still gonna, be okay. So those small talks that I'd have with myself. And I absolutely had to pray about it. There are times I'd be so stuck. I'd see someone amazing come, and then the fear would kick in, and I'd be like, God, what is this? What is this? I would talk to them once, twice, three times, and then anxiety kicks in. My brain would be telling me, what do you think you're doing? So you think this is going to last? So what if it doesn't? All those things. And I had to, I still do pray about it, talk to God about it, speak against the fear. I have learned to speak against it, speak against that fear and silence it. You asked me what navigating meaningful adult friendship has been like for me. Sustaining them. Intentionality in every sense of the word. I will intentionally create time to talk to these people, intentionally want to be in their, like I'd be intentional about being in their lives. It's kind of new to me. Like I said, I'll leave out. They're like, oh, you're the one who came. I'm gonna leave all of it in your hands. Yeah. So being intentional about it in the conversations that I have with this person, in the time that I give them. A friend of mine once told me that we're asking each other the greatest gift you could give to the other person, and we all agreed that time. And the way they described it to me was, giving time to another person is giving a part of yourself. Intentionally choosing to give this part of yourself to the other person that you're not going to get back. And they doing the same. It turned things for me when it came to reciprocating, you know, the work that is being put into, because they are giving me a piece of themselves that they're not going to get back. And they don't even know how much time they have, but they still, do that. And it is just fair. It is just beautiful. It's just meaningful that, you do the same.
That is
Do the same.
very deep.
Yeah.
That is very deep, because if there's anything that we don't have enough of as adults, is time. Because you could see, you can tell what you can do with every minute of your time.
Yeah.
Okay, that.
And I think you can only sustain something that is meaningful to you, because sustaining itself, like I said, it's work. The it's a lot. It's one word, but it's a lot of things, put together in one word. And for me, part of sustaining those meaningful friendships, adult friendships, has been carefully choosing who these people are. Because I am not about to give all this where I'm not supposed to be giving it. Yeah, so I had to sit and look through the people that I was bringing around me, and also look at the people that were around me and giving all this, but I knew deep down that I was not willing to do the same, not because of any other reason, but I just did not, connect to them like that. And find ways of. It is one of the hardest things you will do. Trust me, it is one of the hardest things you will do. I have not been brave enough to sit people down and be like, I appreciate all that you're doing, but I can't do this, I have not been bold enough, and I've probably not made the best choices, but I have tried non-verbally, communicating that I can't reciprocate this. I feel like it's fair enough for them. I'm like, if at some point they get to know, they get to see, then they will have other people who deserve, their time and deserve all this effort, and go put, that into those people. Because I don't know how I'd,
and
if it was,
I love that point that you brought up, because sitting and being honest with ourselves, some truth is hard, even for you to just realize. You feel like a bad person, you feel, but honestly, I so much believe that everything that happens happens for a reason. That God has placed certain people in your life for a reason. And so if I am standing in the way of the people that God has truly called to be in your life, then first of all, I am not being who you need me to be, but I'm also blocking people that are supposed to be a blessing to you, who receive that and pour into you. I think one of the most honest things that we can do is to recognize that. And there's also a risk there of someone feeling rejected. There's that risk. Like, it's just there. But at the end of the day, when you think about this, I can't permanently do this to you. I feel like even for the person who is letting go, it's hurtful. But you have made a choice, but the other person is on the receiving end of that, so it's much harder.
I know.
But you leave, you give way to other people to show up. You give a chance to this person to open up to people who deserve their time, deserve who they are really, who understand their language, who understand them, who comprehend. The people just in your life who will understand you before you even say anything. Who doesn't deserve to have those people in their life? We all do. And you're creating a chance for that to happen for them. And I guess one of those conversations are hard. Very, very hard.
They are, oh my God, they are one of the hardest things you'll have to sit down and tell. And it goes both ways. Just like I said, recognizing who is in my life in a particular moment, and I am not capable of pouring into them.
Yeah.
But also recognizing who is in my life, okay? Who is in my life at this moment, who I'm pouring into, but is not in place to do the same for me now. There are times in friendships where not both of you are going to be, giving at the same time.
Yeah.
Because of different reasons, That's a different case.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even going to be 50-50. It's different from knowing that, honestly speaking, this is not,
Yeah,
this is not,
depends.
yeah. And giving yourself the grace to let these people go as well.
Yeah.
One last thing that I really cannot forget, that has really come, that I've come a long way with, it's embracing the concept of being seen. You mentioned being seen, and when you're saying it, it sounds cute and all that. My dear, being seen for who you actually are, allowing these people to see you for who you are, and then giving them a chance to either take you for that
Or
leave. Now, I'm not saying you sit comfortably in, in the areas that you need to work on.
Yeah.
But I used to be very hard on myself. I used to think, oh my God, I have to be like this and like this and like this for me to allow people in. And I realized, I'm like, girl, you're going to go on and on, because you're always going to be growing. You're always going to find an area in your life that needs to be improved. So allowing yourself to let in these people at that very stage you're at, while you are still that messy work in progress, and let these people see you for who you are, letting yourself be seen by these people. It's one of the most courageous things I have had to do. Oh my God, still is, but it's beautiful at the same time. Scary but beautiful. Scary but beautiful. So allowing yourself to be seen by these people, it requires vulnerability.
It does. It does.
Communicating how you want to do life in this friendship.
Yeah.
And being okay with the fact that if you let this be known to them, they're not going to run away. It's okay. Yeah, so literally being seen, allowing yourself to be seen. Oof, it's one of the most courageous things I have had to embrace.
It is.
As I'm navigating and sustaining.
And that
meaningful friendship.
Like you said, we're saying it sounds cute, but it's one
not,
of the
I promise.
hardest things. It's one of the hardest things, because sometimes I sit back and I'm like, but have I allowed these people to fully see me? Because here is one thing about me. I don't know what it is, but it's so easy for people to open up to me and share anything. Me on the other hand.
Oh yes, yeah.
I'm like, there's something, I don't know what it is. There's just something about me that makes people feel safe to, open up themselves and be vulnerable. Me on the other hand, I'm always the supporter. Like, I'll show up when you're going through hard things. I'll show up for you. I'll speak life into you. I will. In fact, that's one of the things I do very well.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I think
I'll speak life into you. Like, I'll hold your hand. Now, me, when those things happen, you know what I do? I isolate. I've noticed how it affects friendships. That sometimes people always think that you have everything going well.
Yep.
You're not struggling with anything. People get comfortable with always sharing what they're going through and never ask how you are doing, because they think you have put them in a headspace where they think you got everything.
Can't blame them.
You have made them used to that. Like for them, it's always they'll come to you, share whatever is going on, and they never ask. Sometimes I catch myself feeling like, like, do you ever stop to wonder what goes on with me? It's easy to kind of feel resentment.
Yeah.
But then you think about it, you're like, but who has built this dynamic? I am the one who has built it. I actually, because now I ask myself, actually, if they asked me, would I even tell them?
Would I
Would
breathe
I tell
a
them?
word?
And then I'm like, yeah, I think I just would love to see that they care in that aspect, but I don't think I would still give them a chance to see that. And it's so hard to connect with someone when you can't let them in that, in like that.
Trust
You know,
me.
allowing to be seen by your friends. You may not understand how much of a gift that is, but it is. Some people really want to show up for you.
I know.
They're looking for anything they can do to show up for you.
This is something I'm trying to tell my brain. It hasn't clicked in yet.
You know,
I just have it
yeah.
as a statement. It's there. I know it's a fact. I'm trying to literally insert that into my belief system. So just like you look out for people, and there are people out here who want to do the same
They
thing.
who want to do the same
You're
for
not
you.
being a burden.
Yeah.
You're not being a burden when you call and you need someone to talk to. You probably had a hard day.
Because when another person calls you, that's not what you think of
That's
them.
what you think.
Like you're literally willing to listen. You're willing to do anything.
I think what I'm trying to do. So I've chosen to do it scared, and very much know how I'm going to feel afterwards. Like I know the level of discomfort I'm going to feel, after saying that. The sense of guilt that comes
Is
with
it
doing
guilt? You
that.
just feel like you're exposed.
Thank you. That's the word.
You just feel like you just stood in front of somebody and
they just undressed you. Oh God.
That is how it feels. We're talking
Swag.
about friends
Yeah.
who care for you, who care for your well-being,
Mm.
who, like I said earlier, you trust that they have your best interests at heart.
That want to give and not
Yeah.
just, not just take. They actually want to pour into you.
Yeah. So those are the people we're talking about.
Yeah.
Allow them. I'm talking to myself here. Yeah. Allow those people to see you in moments where things are not going well, in moments where you're beating yourself up, in moments where you're in doubt, in moments where you hate yourself, in moments when all these things are happening. Allow them to see you. Allow them.
There is not a point in time where you're going to wake up one day and you're finally comfortable with this. The comfortability comes with the more you allow yourself, the more you allow yourself to be seen. With time, with allow yourself to experience this beautiful gift, this beautiful God-given gift called friendship. Because it's like having a gift, that you're always looking at. It's wrapped. It's in
wrapped.
a box.
You don't even want to open it.
You don't even want to open it.
That
It's
is
just
so true.
it's just there.
That is so
It's
true.
just there. Yeah.
What can you say to someone who is still trying to figure this thing out? What would you say to them? Someone who is still struggling to balance this adulthood with the beautiful friendships that they have.
I think I would say the very things that I think I'd say to myself. You don't have to have it all together for you to let yourself experience this beautiful gift, like I was saying. And when it comes to balance, like I said, it's a choice. I don't think it will be balanced, but maybe juggling that, juggling that with everything else, with adulthood that has no breaks. Literally every morning, every day you wake up and you have to be going somewhere, doing something, you know.
Yeah.
Life is demanding, tugging at you left and right. So, and being intentional about putting in the work, and give yourself grace as you're doing that. It's not war. You're not at war. You're not at war.
Yeah.
Give yourself grace as you're doing this, and communicate. Right? Because now, okay, now I'm imagining, I'm putting myself in the shoes of the people that were in my life before, who had literally let you do all the work, you know,
Yeah.
who feel like I am alone in this. I have to figure out how are we going to meet, when are we going to talk, you know, how are we going to grow this friendship. Sometimes there are people like the old me, you know, who just
Yeah.
sit back,
Yeah.
and there are others who will not know that you feel like you're actually alone in this until you communicate.
Yeah.
You know, try to let them know. I've had friends who have been gracious enough to tell me this very hard truth, you know, tell me this very hard truth, where they felt like they're doing the most, you know, and they've done it out of love, and I'm grateful because it's given me the chance to do better,
Yeah.
you know, and actually, and when it's weighing you down, like you said, there are some people who need breaks every now and then, you know, to retrieve,
Yeah.
reconsider,
Yeah.
then come back. So communicate when you need that. Do not just disappear and go ghost, you know. Yeah.
Oops.
Communicate. I'm sure these people that probably there are ways they would help you, you know, probably there are ways that they would help you navigate that overwhelm that you're feeling. How about your friendships? What about them? Where you feel like you can't find the balance, or you feel like you're failing at this, talk to God about it. The Holy Spirit was given to us as a helper in all ways. There is not a part of your life
Yeah.
that he's
Doesn't pick and
excluded.
choose.
No. He's not selective.
Yeah.
He's not selective. He was left to be involved in your entire life, and your friendships are included. So involve him. It gets a lot easier. Because for some people it comes easy. Others,
For
there's
some,
a
it doesn't.
lot. They have to push through a lot to let people in, a lot to keep these people around, a lot to accept love from people,
Yeah.
a lot to be sick. Like there
is so
some
much.
people really have it hard. So
Yeah.
involve the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. That is beautiful. Very beautiful.
Yep.
I think I would emphasize giving yourself grace. And when I say giving yourself grace, I'm not saying be comfortable in the things that you would have changed. I'm saying when you try today and fail, try again tomorrow and fail and try again another day. But when you fail, don't shame yourself. Do not beat yourself up. Sit down, go through, okay, where did I fail? And in those moments, don't have those conversations by just yourself, because I have noticed one of the things that makes everything worse is our friends noticing that we have disappeared. They don't know why. You're giving them room to come up with every possible assumption. You would be surprised at how supportive people would be if you just texted them and tell them, I'm sorry, I have been silent. This is why. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do better at this and I keep failing, but I really want to do better. I want to make this work. You would be surprised at how far that would go. You cannot shame yourself into a better person. No, you can't. You can't say horrible words at yourself. You can't call yourself a horrible person just to change. Like, think about if you wanted someone in your life to do better in a certain area, would you go and use terrible words on them? You were this, you're a failure, you're Like, do you think that would help them change at all? No. But when you speak to them with compassion, when you speak to them in a graceful way, they're able to receive what you're saying, but you're giving them a space to feel safe enough to change and do better. That goes for yourself as well. It's not just for those people. Maybe the other thing that I would just say is don't give up. I know I've found myself in that space where I'm just like, Claire, you probably don't deserve to have friends. You probably are just going to hurt people because of the way you do things or how your brain just processes things and how it deals with things. That's harder. That process is harder than the work that you could have done to improve that friendship. Like losing that friendship is much harder than the work you could have done to make it just 10% better. So don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your friendships. It's possible to do better. It's possible to be supported. It's possible. Pray about it. Pray about these things. Look at these things and refuse to identify with the struggles that you have, because that's not who you are. That's not who you are. You are better than that. So say that to yourself and believe it and work towards it and work into acknowledging it. Walk towards that path until you are fully living in it, because it's your life. That's what God has given you. There's nobody that God has called to be a loner or someone without friends, without people who care about them. No. One of the ways that God blesses us is the people He puts in our lives.
Yes.
And so you have that gift from God. He has given you that gift of people, and He will give you the grace to sustain them.
Oh, yes.
He will give you the grace. He will
He
give it
will.
to you. So just maybe a little bit let go and surrender. And surrender and allow God to do His work. Allow Him to do the work that only He can do in your life. Very random thing, but pray about your friends when you're going to meet them, when you're going to talk to them, so that when you meet, you're speaking to them what they need in that moment, that you become that vessel, that you are that vessel, because you have that access to them. And so pray that that access to them is a blessing to them, is a blessing. Like you bless them, you speak life into them. Pray about it. Pray about it. Even when you're like out and just having dinner together or went to a restaurant or whatever it is, pray that when you speak from the knowledge of the Spirit, that you speak from that place, that you don't take anything for granted. Interactions, random calls, random texts, don't take any of that for granted, because we have seen how small things profoundly change our lives, and you as a friend can be that. We have come to the end of this episode. In our next episode, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, which is female friendships. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
If you have anything to share that you could add to what we have talked about, please go in the comment section and share with us. Share with us your experiences. Share with us your words of wisdom. Share with us anything you might be struggling with that you think anyone in the comment section could help you with. And this is what this community is all about. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being here with me. This our guest has blessed us.
It was a beautiful pleasure to be here.
Yes.
Honestly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for blessing us with your presence today.
It was an honor. It was an honor.
See you all in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.